so keep it up.
Does he actually ever have any more, I wonder? I don't know that I've ever, like, kept pursuing it. But,
Sorry, but I've got work.
well, good for you. Why do I care? Take this job and shove it. Oh my god, we've already been playing like an hour and a half. Jeez.
Never ever go
Time
outside the
flies
city
when you're
walls after
having
sundown.
fun,
Caution
right,
park most of
Miria?
the night.
God, I kind of wish I wasn't having so much fun. It's almost like there's too many things to do in this big
Everyone
empty
needs
space
supplies.
game.
Take a
where
look
there's
around. It's a good
nothing to
yeah.
do. It's like
Browse to your heart's
so
content.
empty. Dun, 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 dun. Ew, that is nasty. Also nasty. Space trucker flannel. Look at that shit. We're gonna go haul some space goods through space, eh? We're gonna take my ship, eh? We're gonna haul some goods for people, eh? We're the Canadian Space Trucker Force.
Nobody's allowed outside the city walls after that.
Alright, we're gonna go back to Jemison. So I can stash my goods. I just thought of something too. I'm a ways away from that. We got a long ways to go. I think I need to go over here and do the next rank of, how close am I on ships? Oh, I'm halfway. Yeah, we're not there. I'm going to take the next rank in, research methods. Which will then, yeah, definitely. We need to create 15 unique food, drinks, drugs, and weapon mods. We're going to do that. We're going to go back to Jemison really quick and do that. Graces, got a comment on my bracing video. Someone sold their knuckle drill not knowing what it was in Crimson Desert. No! That's unfortunate.
Yes?
Where the fuck is the cockpit in this place? Oh, I forgot. I have a bigger ship now. How many crew can be on this ship? 5? Oh, hold up a second. Ship. Oh, they're all on the ship. I need to go talk to Vasco and Barrett. Oh, you know what? I haven't rescued Barrett. Oh, shit. That might be something we can go do. Now that I'm done with Rangers stuff. Yeah, maybe we go rescue Barrett after I finish my crafting stuff here. Polymers are hard to find. You can buy them, John. I think you have to buy them or make them. I don't remember. It's been a long
Lifting
time.
off now.
But I do remember if you get deep into if you keep going deep into crafting, you eventually get to the point where you want to set up your first outpost so that you can grow plants
We're locking into orbit now.
in a garden, because that allows you to make is it like adhesives or something? I can't remember, but there is something that you need a lot of, and the only way to get it is from plants, or be lucky enough to find it available at a merchant. So I remember when I was getting deep into it for the very first time, I ended up setting up a farm so that I didn't have to go try to hunt it down at various vendors. Yeah, I'm not trying to sell stuff though. Most of the time I just
Landing struts primed.
only sell a
Retros
couple
fired.
items and I stick them in the rest of the store. Storage. Chris Shop says it just finished the Manus quest. Nice.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Okay.
I tried playing chess once.
I'm going to be doing an
but I don't
updated
understand
guide
why there's
on
knights and bishops, but
that for
no
tomorrow morning, so stay
conquerors.
tuned, Vicky. But yeah, just go into the settings and tweak it. It's just an XP penalty is the only thing. Which doesn't really matter after you've gotten all the points you want.
Hello.
Any good recommendations on starter bounty hunter weapons? No, you just got to play the game because a lot of the better weapons in the game are like the advanced ones, and you're not going to find those until you start getting a higher level in the game because of the way that the scaling does and stuff. And a lot of the uniques, like crowd control, as an example, that weapon comes from a specific quest line, which can only be done to higher levels. Everything else is just pure RNG, so legendaries and epics can be found in any chest, on any mob, anywhere in the game. So it's a big old RNG thing, which is why you have weapon crafting in the game, because if you really want to customize your weapons, then you put lots of points into weapon modifications, and then you can customize your weapons. Especially once you get into X-Tech, you can then do the same. Take all. Alright, I think we have to do 15 of these. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. Alright, I need 5 more things. Maybe we do some weapon mods really quick. Ooh, I could do that. What is it? Reduce? Nothing. I just kind of always assumed that thing was already silenced. Huh. I don't have grip and stock mods. Alright, I think I need 3 more. Oops. Alright. do that. That's a cool skin for my cutter. Alright, what can I do with this baby? Oh, see here? Now these are the new ranks. Oh, you could already start, because I already have X-Tech. So I could theoretically... Holy shit, 25,000 credits, no fucking thank you. And here's the thing, I can start ranking up the quality level. So if I haven't dug into this yet, I hadn't taken a look at this yet. So you can already start leveling up your weapons if you don't want to wait. Who was asking the question earlier? Who asked the question about weapons? So if they're still in chat, where did that go? I lost that in chat. Jar the Wolf, are you still here on YouTube? It gets really expensive really quick, yes. But, I don't know if they're still here in chat. But if they are, I hadn't looked at this since they added... It was you? Okay, so here's the thing. X-Tech, I knew how it worked, but I hadn't seen it in effect. So X-Tech, which is a new thing that just got added to the game, it does cost a boatload of credits, as we can see. But you can literally now, from the very start of the game, if you don't want to wait until you start finding the advanced quality weapons in the game, you can start upgrading weapons from tier 1 using X-Tech. Now it's not cheap. It's 10,000 credits for the first upgrade. But if you have the X-Tech and you have the credits, you can start working your way up through the tiers of weapons. So like, if you like a weapon, you could just immediately start working on it. So I had forgotten about that being added to the game, to be honest with you, until I sat down here. And then you can start working on adding legendary mods as well, right from the get-go. That's cool as shit, man. And then there's upgrade modules now. God damn, there's some cool stuff in here. I need internal mods. Explosive rounds? No, I see these are going to require mods, leveled up mods that I don't have yet. But I can do that one. Put a suppressor? No, I can't. I think I need one more. I gotta spend one more if I'm not mistaken. Yep. One more and I'll have the rank that I need. So let's do one more weapon mod. 2 more hours then off work. There you go. What's up, Maltos? Good morning. Big fan of that. I don't need to change any of that. Alright, there we go. We have maxed out rank 3 of that. Alright. there's any additional, like... Alright, that got us down to 132, so that's a good start. Okay, I could drop some of these outfits off. Store. 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 Alright, we're good. Space trucker flannel, man. That's some funny shit. Upgrading to exotic is like 300k. That's a bit of a that's a bit expensive.
I am at your service, Captain.
Oh yeah, there's easily enough content in this game to keep people occupied until Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
What's up, Lou? Good morning. Alright, I am done with all of that stuff now, which means... if I wanted to work on... I've got so many, like... side quests, but I am going to go rescue Barrett, because I can get Barrett and, Heller. Give me 2 seconds. You gotta type your question in better English, Tay2302, because I have no idea what you just asked. You saw a video on a ship that rotates? I don't know. And you're using a bunch of like you're not spelling your words. So take the vocabulary that you learned in school, apply it, write the words out, and then I will be able to understand your question. Because right now I got no fucking clue what you just asked. Good morning, Pigeon. Ali says the nice thing about this game is that it's got more updates lined up, so there are some great years ahead for Starfield. Yeah, I mean, we're already in a great place. The game has only been out for 2.5 years. We've already seen... how many free updates have they done? Plus, we've seen 2 DLCs. And I would argue the Free Lanes update is I think Free Lanes is bigger than all the other updates they've done combined. No, I don't give a shit about the Artemis thing. It was pointless. Artemis was the most pointless thing I've ever seen someone do, ever. They spent billions of dollars to distract everybody from real world shit to send people around in a rocket so they could fly around the moon and take pretty pictures. Meanwhile, we still don't have universal health care. And the country is at war. What the fuck? No, Artemis is the biggest waste of fucking billions of dollars that I've ever seen in my life. I refuse to participate. I refuse to celebrate. I love NASA. I love science, but fuck that shit. Now, you want to talk about let's land guys on the moon and build an outpost and find a way to like better humanity? I'm all for it. But fuck you spending billions of dollars when you could have instead done something like universal health care for all the people who need it. So no, I don't give a shit about Artemis. Billions of dollars of funding have been cut to ranchers and farmers because of Doge cuts. So, oh, I'm not supposed to get political on my channel. Hang on, I need to back myself up. Hold on, pump the brakes, Renfail. I'm not supposed to get political on my channel.
Whatever trouble you're bound to cause, do it somewhere else.
No. Fuck Artemis. Stupid, stupid waste of money. My brother and his wife are cattle ranchers in the United States. And they have been working with the federal agency known as the FSA for several years now. And it is completely fucked right now because of there's no funding left. All the employees have quit working. It's just, yeah, exactly, Shiloh. Yeah, so that's exactly what my brother and his wife are going through right now. Like, they had a whole bunch of FSA loans, and, like, the FSA agent has been literally ghosting their calls for 3 months. They finally had a call, like, last week with their banker, and it's all because the funding is gone, all the employees have quit, they're overworked, they were furloughed like how many times because of government shutdowns, and I'm supposed to be over here like jerking off in the corner celebrating the Artemis mission? Fuck that. I'm supposed to be celebrating the war that we're fighting in another fucking country? What? Fuck that. Nah, man. Ain't no way I'm celebrating any of that shit. That money could be so much better spent providing healthcare and getting funding back to the agricultural departments that feed the fucking people of the world. Let's take pretty pictures of the moon. Yay! Yeah, fertilizer costs are ridiculous right now.
This place is dead silent.
Anyway.
Music to my ears.
Anyway. Before I lean and break my own rules about not getting political, because I'm leaning towards political, and I'm not supposed to do that right now. I'm not supposed to be doing that on my streams. No, I don't give a shit about Artemis. That's the short version.
Well, you're back.
Lynn!
Oh no, don't start. I've had enough Barrett for one lifetime. I don't need the sequel showing up on my doorstep.
Too late, I'm already
More
here,
pirates
sweetheart.
showed up when you were gone. We weren't as lucky this time. Calvert, Troy.
That's right. Play
Some of the dusties.
play Starfield. We have
They
plenty of
didn't make
opportunities
it.
for moon photos. Exactly, JK. We could literally have taken pictures of the moon with an unmanned mission. It's so funny, man.
You're right. You tell yourself you got deadlines, that the credits are what matter. But it's people doing the job, not machines. You think if you're strict with them that they'll focus on the work, give you a little distance if things go wrong. But you want them to win. Every boss does. Anyway, I was pinned down behind some crates with
There is
barrels,
zero
bullets, and
and he's got the third one in a headlock. Drags him out into the open at gunpoint and demands to talk, or else I'm going to demonstrate Newton's third law on this guy's temporal lobe. Newton's
That's when they
third
brought out
law.
Hella.
Oh, I love rockets in space too. And I think if you look at what the International Space Station is doing and what those people are doing, that is some cool shit. Absolutely. Really cool stuff happening on the International Space Station in terms of scientific progress and advancing humanity into space. Sending an unmanned mission around the moon. Excuse me, sending a manned mission to take pretty pictures of the moon is literally a waste of money. Oh, we've proved that we can send things to the moon to build an outpost. You didn't need to send a manned mission. It could have been like literally the whole Artemis mission has just been taking pretty pictures and sending them back. And they're like, "Oh, these brave astronauts." Nah, man. Nah.
I didn't overhear everything, but after the 10 longest seconds of my life, Barrett put his hands up, and both of them ended up getting taken aboard the pirate ship. And that's the last I saw of either of them.
I need to find them, Lynn.
They could have grav-jumped anywhere. I tried pinging a transmission to the ship in the comms building before they left, but the pirates must have fried it. You want to try it? Go ahead. But the odds of them being alive, even if you could find them... I've lost a lot of people on this run, Dusty. I just want to pack up.
You show me, James Brown, you're sure they did more than just joyride around the moon? Hey, you know what? Like Garrett says, we just found out that NASA still can't build a space shitter. Here's a challenge for you, James Brown. Here's a challenge. Now we're gonna pause for a second here. James Brown says, I'm sure they did more than just joyride around the moon. Show me one advancement that they made in the trip that they just took around the moon that is more important than universal health care for the citizens of the United States. Show me one scientific advancement that is more important than universal health care. Because the billions of dollars that they spent to send that mission to the moon to take pretty pictures could have been used to fund unlimited health care. Universal health care for the people of the world. Or at least the people of that country. One of the only countries in the world that doesn't have universal health care. I will wait. You show me one scientific update that was made from the Artemis mission that is more important than universal health care. I challenge you. What's up, Lynn?
You want to try fixing that computer? Go ahead.
I think there's one more in here. I know there's like, I think we have to have 3 of these battery thingies. The funny thing is I just did this like a month ago and I don't remember where they all are now. Oh, hello. Adaptive frame. I'll take that. It was a legitimate question, James Brown. So come on, pony up and put your money where your mouth is. You said that you're sure that it wasn't just a joyride and they made some scientific advancements. And I said, show me one single scientific advancement from the Artemis mission that is more important than the universal health care that could have been provided to people with the billions of dollars of funding that it took. So it's a legitimate question. Alright, let's get back. I think I have 3. Vanessa's like, Ren, the pretty pictures are more important than healthcare. But Ren, they cured cancer. That's the thing, like a cure for cancer, that's pretty badass. Like if they cured cancer with the trip around the moon, I'd say that's worth celebrating. Right now, all I've seen is pretty pictures. That's not worth the billions of dollars that was spent. Because billions of dollars, that's free healthcare for hundreds of millions of people. Charles says, I am loving Starfield. Playing at the moment when my partner isn't looking. Nice. Alright. Oh, we got a chat. I don't know that I can loot these yet, though, because I don't have any lock picking. Yeah. My life, chunk by chunk. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. 2 dates for Darla 4. Yeah, it's safe to say that I don't have any desire to watch that film. Magazine! Tracker's Primer 05. Permanently increase EM damage weapon by 5%. Hell to the yeah. Hell to the yeah. To the yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that a beanie? No, it's a navy cap, but it could have been a beanie. It'd been a lot cooler if it was. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Did anybody respond to what was the single scientific advancement that was better than free healthcare for the entire nation? I still haven't seen anybody respond to that challenge. You still haven't answered you either, Mercury Shadow. Mercury says, Artemis was absolutely not pointless. The main reason was to test the capsules for future missions. You act like NASA's stealing funds. We do both. Very elementary thinking. We're spending more dropping bombs on little girls. Again, the billions of dollars spent to test capsules for future missions. Show me one scientific advancement that is more worthwhile than universal health care for every human being. Show me one. You can't do it. You can't. You cannot prove that the billions of dollars of funding that is spent on projects like that are more important than universal health care. You can't. But future missions. But space! Fix the problems we have here first. Then I'm happy to talk about rockets and space stations and warp fuel and warp drives and, like... funds aren't the problem, voting is. Oh, honey. Honey! See, now... Sure, sweetheart, sure. It's the funding that's the problem. Uh-huh. Tell us the conversation is so far over your head that you don't understand it without telling us. That's why no one can answer the question. It's just... But, space, funding, vote. No. It's a pure, simple question. Show me one scientific advancement that is more important than universal health care. How many... Are the words coming out of my mouth too challenging for some of you? I have asked you to specifically answer a simple question. Show me a single scientific advancement that is being done by NASA that is more important than universal health care. That would justify the billions spent on these missions. Show me one. Because I feel like a lot of you are misunderstanding too, because I love NASA. I follow all their social media. Big fan of International Space Station. Big fan of NASA as a whole. But the Artemis mission just put a sour taste in my mouth. And I'm still waiting. I haven't seen anybody answer what single scientific advancement is worth more than universal health care, which could be paid for by the billions of dollars in funding that are spent on projects like NASA. That's right, Abe Kilmer. It's a trick question. Because no one is ever going to be able to answer that. It's just...
Can't believe we got into this mess. Would you be quiet? Trying to make out the grav jump calculations before we're out of range. Out of range of what? Out of range of the sensor array on Vectera. Would you keep up? Once we're outside the star system, the bandwidth goes from instant speed to effectively never. What good is sending a transmission down there? You gonna tell Lynn how royally screwed we both are?
Streamlabs is mad. Vanessa, hold up.
You underestimate how many of my admirers there are in the galaxy, Helen.
Streamlab keeps modding you, Vanessa. I don't know what you tried to type. I just noticed that it's like...
Doomed. Capital D, doomed.
Don't use caps.
Got it, okay. Whoever finds this, I'm attaching the interstellar coordinates to the metadata on the transmission. Rescue us. Repeat, rescue us.
Rescue us. Yeah, it won't let you do all caps, so yeah. Yeah, the reality is that you know, yeah, there's, yeah, yep. It would be really easy to solve those problems if people would start paying attention to the betterment of humanity and not the lining of pockets of billionaires. Oil! We gotta have oil! Lynn, come here.
So, you actually get that computer working again?
They need to catch space air and the shadow of the moon in order to create the cure for cancer.
What? Let me see that. Funny. Even knowing he's alive, I still never want to see him again. Hella, on the other hand. Okay. Let me send you the location data embedded in the transmission. Find them, okay?
We can do that. Thanks, Lynn.
Be a while before Argos comes to pick me up. I'll be here if you need me. And hey, if you ever need a little extra help, I've been thinking about a career change lately. Maybe it's time to put Argos behind me.
Yep. Come here, Lynn.
Seems like you've been keeping busy, Dusty. If, you find yourself in need of a capable traveling companion, we should talk. My contract's up with Argos, and I could use a change of scenery.
No, you should come along.
Works for me. I'm not fussy about assignments. I'll go where I'm needed.
Alright. I don't actually want her on the ship, so we're just going to leave her where she is for now.
Right. I'll get to work. Let's catch up later.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Did you really just say if you want healthcare, get a job? Did you really just say that in my chat?
Not bad, but you can't seriously think it's in the same league as Stroud-Eklund.
Holy shit.
Stroud-Eklund ships may be good,
The
but
scientific
so what?
advancement is that the vehicle is safe to use for people with the future for regular trips to the moon and beyond. If you want healthcare, get a job.
One man with
Holy shit.
I am sick to death hearing about your sainted run home. I mean, trucks in space? Really?
I'm actually speechless at the ignorance of that comment. I am absolutely speechless at that. Holy shit. Yeah, that is a scummy... Yeah, that's so shitty. Starbright says, what about the millions of people who can't afford healthcare with the wages they make? Or the people who don't work enough to qualify for healthcare? Holy shit. Yeah, right. Look, chat. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Spetter says anything that generates income is work. Dribrum says most people with a job can't afford a health care can. I don't know that I have seen, that is the most ignorant comment I have seen all year in my chat. All year. Holy fuck. If you want health care, get a job. Jesus Christ. That is like the epitome of arrogant capitalist. Like, holy shit. I'm not shocked that people like that exist at all. That is horrible, a horrible thing to say. Horrible thing to say. There are so many people out there who can't afford health care because like people are saying in chat, people can't qualify because their job won't let them work enough hours. Their job won't pay for it. Not every job pays for health care. Yeah, how out of touch with reality can you be? Exactly. Loot says have one major health event in your life and see how far that job health insurance carries you. Yeah, guys, that is one of the most ignorant things I've ever seen. God damn. Want health care, get a job. Chris Shop says, I live in the U.S., I have a job, and I can't afford health care. The vast majority of I'm pretty sure every single country, if not the vast majority of countries on the planet, provide some form of universal health care to their people. Want health care, get a job. Holy fuck, man. Get out of my I don't want you here. Yeah, we don't want that person around at all. That was one of the scummiest, nastiest thing I've seen a human being say ever in my life. Like, seriously, that is like one of the worst things I've seen one human being say to other human beings ever. AFK Mar says, and then the insurance companies decline you when you need stuff, saying like, you don't need this MRI or operation, even after going through all the prerequisites. Garrett says, the One Health event thing is where I'm at. It doesn't go far, then try and get it after you lose your job because of it. The United States, and I'm not being political when I say this, this is just an economic thing. I wouldn't push that narrative, Shiloh. I'm gonna kind of push back on that and mod that message really quick. I would not. Let's not go there because that's not something I want to promote on the channel. I understand the sentiment, but it's not something I want to promote. You can go on any platform and find millions and millions of people who need healthcare and don't have it. JK says, what about the people born with pre-existing conditions and can't get healthcare? Right? Right? Get a job if you want healthcare. My brother's in TikTok chat saying we pay like $15,000 a year just in premiums for my wife and I. That's my brother, by the way. $15,000 a year for premiums just for his wife and him. So, yeah, the whole billions of dollars to send astronauts around the moon to take pretty pictures, that money could have been better spent. And don't even get me started on the war. Like, I'm not supposed to be political on my channel, but any country that goes to a war with another country is just like, for stupid reasons, it's like, you cut funding for all these programs. What about pre-existing conditions in healthcare, right? I'm in shock that guy said that, guys. I'm literally in shock. Want healthcare? Get a job. Holy fuck. I kind of just, my whole gameplay is just completely stopped right now. And this is probably why Asmongold gets so many views, is because he lets people just go crazy in his chat, ranting about these types of things. And I'm like, no, get the fuck out of my channel. Don't want you here. Fist of Fury says, as much as we have issues with waiting lists and stuff in the UK with the NHS, I'm glad we have it. People over here who go for private healthcare have a far better deal than Americans. So where I live, we have universal we have various levels. The current president is actually implementing a total rehaul of the entire system to make it universal for everyone. But there are also private policies that you can get. So if you want to skip the waiting lists, so that's the thing here is like the system, the healthcare that I have is universal, along with my wife. And if I need something, I can go straight to the doctor. There are wait lines. And as an example, my wife is going through this right now. She has a non-emergency surgery. She has a myoma. She's a middle-aged woman, and she has a myoma in her ovaries and in her, not on the ovary, in the, I forget where it's at now. Anyway, so this was discovered January? I don't remember the timeline. And she got in initially got in very fast because they discovered the mass and were like, we got to make sure that it's not an emergency. Once they discovered it was not an emergency, it was there's a system of things you need. There are, things you have to do to prep you for the surgery. You definitely need surgery. It's not an emergency surgery at the moment. If it was an emergency surgery, they would have gotten her in right away. She had an emergency surgery. She had an ectopic pregnancy in 2014. We were jogging, and all of a sudden she wasn't with me, and I turned around like, where's my wife? And she was like 2 blocks back, leaning up against the side of a house, and one of her fallopian tubes had burst while we were jogging, and she was bleeding internally, and so it was rush her to the hospital because she was having agonizing instant pain, and it was an immediate surgery. No questions asked, no charges, no fees, nothing. This one is a non-elective or a non-emergency, so it's taking some time because they're running a bunch of tests to make sure that her lungs are good, her heart is good, all these things to make sure that she's okay to do this surgery that they want to do to take the myoma out. And so it's a multi-month process. The doctor originally, the specialist we saw about 6 weeks ago was like, it's going to probably be 3 to 4 months of going through all these tests and everything before you get to the point where you get the surgery. We don't have to pay a dime for anything. There are wait lists, you know, and there's times, and the doctor even told us, this is the funny thing, he, like, when we saw the gynecologist specialist, he literally told us, he was like, so it's going to take you, if you get these 3 tests, because there's like 7 or 8 tests that she needs done, and he literally told us, he's like, these 3 tests, if you do them through our system, can take 3 to 4 months to get done. If you want them done quickly, I would suggest going to a private clinic and just paying for them out of pocket, because then you can get them done in like 2-3 weeks. So she had to get like some, like, I think the pap smear was one of them. They were like, that can take some time. So she has been going to other clinics and just paying out of pocket to get things done more quickly. And if you have private healthcare here, you can get things done like that because you're paying for it. But if you go through the system, there are wait lists and time limits on things. And that's the downside to it being free. But everyone gets coverage. And if it's an emergency, you're going right in. But even in, like, even if you're paying for private in the US, there's still wait lists. Like, they're still waiting and waiting and waiting. And on top of that, you're paying premiums and co-pays. And I don't know, guys. Like, again, this was never meant to be political. I just challenged people in chat who were coming in here praising the Artemis mission. I challenged people to show me one scientific advancement that NASA made, which would be more important to humanity than universal health care for everyone. Because the billions that were spent could have benefited hundreds of millions of people, and not a single person could answer the question. And then instead, we got all these whack jobs coming out of the woodwork saying things like, you want health care? Get a job. Holy shit. Like... Yeah, it was not meant to be a political discussion. It was an economic discussion. And unfortunately, some people can't get their heads out of their asses. Everything's got to be political for them. Holy moly, what a stream, guys.
Setting down, everything in the green.
Yeah, Chris Shop. So if the Artemis mission would have been to, like, establish a base on the moon, I would have been like, yeah! But we took a bunch of pretty pictures. And right now, with where we are as humanity, it's like there are so many things that are way more important than let's explore space. I think I'm actually going to hoof... No, I'm not going to hoof this one because we might be overburdened with loot when we come out of here. It's all smoke and mirrors. You're not wrong, guys. Is this over here? What is that? Oh, I just got an update. Oh, I've uncovered 4 of 4 on this planet. Oh. So I guess it gave me that cool tag where it says surveyed. I'm definitely going to do an outpost in this series. active. Unlike Artemis, I'm actually going to build a base on the moon. There's so much ore on this planet. This is awesome. Barrett can wait, guys. I've got lore to, I've got loot. I've got ore to mine, loot to pick up. Sorry, Barrett. I'll get to you eventually, buddy. Ripping Reaper says, I'm grateful for the NHS in the UK. Yeah, so here we have what's called IMSS Bienestar, which is what we have right now. And then the president just implemented, I think it's supposed to go into effect by April of 2027. It's a complete overhaul where it's... So the way it works here is there's one system for everybody, and then there's another system that's like for people who have jobs. There's another system that you can register your employees with, and essentially what they're doing is they're combining those two programs so that everyone is on the same, as opposed to people being on two different levels based on whether they're just regular people or if it's through their work. I'm simplifying it a little bit, but that's essentially what's going on. Make outposts great again. Don't worry, we're working on it. Oh, there we are. I mean, no, not any specific tips for bounty hunter. Just go with it. I do have a bunch of beginner's guides over on YouTube. You should check them out in the PS5 playlist. Sorry, Heller. There's an empty chunks package, bro.
Oh, hey, it's you. And here I thought you was some pirate coming back to kill me. Lucky me, right?
Hold still. Let me patch you up.
Nah, I'll be alright. Just, you know, wasn't trying to move around too much with all the painkillers and nausea meds running through me. Man, I was so terrified when I got pulled on board that pirate ship. Barrett was all, sorry, brother, I'll get us out of this. Trust me.
Trust me is my go-to line when people definitely shouldn't trust me.
I'm starting to see that. He tells me we need to start pretending to fight each other. Trick the pirates into thinking they need to come in before one of us gets killed. I just remember him shouting, "This kid is a killer. How am I supposed to defend myself against these pearly whites? He's gonna bite my face off." I mean, I didn't think it would work, but they came in. All of a sudden, we were wrestling with two of them. Barrett reached for one of their guns.
Naked wrestling? Let me guess, he shot someone he shouldn't have. He shot someone he shouldn't have.
Bingo. Blasted the pilot right in the back. Through to the flight console. Dropped orbit like a rock off a high rise. I blacked out. And when I came to, there he was, smiling like it was just...
You're welcome, Jedabum. That's what I create the guides for, so I'm glad they were useful.
I mean, I go through all the trouble of saving your butt, and you weren't even awake to notice. Then he did the little
Finger
gun
guns.
thing.
I fucking love Barrett. All right. I need to find him, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Probably should have talked about that first. Did I mention I'm on a lot of painkillers? So, I was real excited when a ship showed up. Then, less excited when I realized it was a Crimson Fleet ship. And then, really less excited when Barrett said, "It's okay, I got this." He mumbled something to him, and then they were all gone.
The Crimson Fleet has him again.
I was drifting in and out, but yeah, I think so. Got a signal from the ship before they grav jumped. Guessing it was Barrett. Haven't really been in a good space to have a listen. Here you go. Hey, I should come with you, right? I don't think anyone else is coming.
Let's get you on your feet first.
Yeah, just, don't ask me to operate any heavy machinery for a while. Give me a minute. I think the worst of it is... Yeah, I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Ready to wisecrack with the best of them.
I
Let me
do
know
try
when
to
you wanna
avoid
head out.
spoilers if I can. Because I recognize we have a whole bunch of new people coming in playing it. It's kind of unavoidable with certain topics. Like, I can't talk about New Game Plus without talking about the
Still think there might be a spot for
multiple
me on your
dimension
ship?
thing.
I gotta get off this
Which,
rock.
I'm not really spoiling that at this point because Bethesda themselves have talked about it for 2.5 years, so.
Whew,
I have a
you say
healthcare
that.
I have a
For a
healthcare
second
story
there, I
I can
thought you
tell
were
as
gonna
well,
leave me
Yard,
behind.
which is
What's
one of
on
the
the agenda
reasons I
today?
am always going to be in favor of it. So, many years ago, I worked for a construction company. My dad's company. He did not run healthcare on his employees. He should have. It's a very long, and if I had known better when I was younger, it would have things could have potentially turned out different. Be that as it may, I was 22 years old and I suffered congestive lung failure on my 22nd birthday. I was sitting there playing EverQuest. I had another brother who was living with me at the time, and I'm sitting there playing. All of a sudden, the left side of my face starts to go numb, and I start having intense chest pains, and I can't seem to get any breath. And then not only is the left side of my face going numb, but my left arm goes numb, and then the left side of my leg starts to go numb. So my brother rushes me to the hospital, and they hook me up to an EKG to check for a heart attack, and then they hook me up to an x-ray machine and scan my lungs, and they find out my lungs are full of concrete dust and just shit from over the years. From working in ceramic tile and natural stone since I was like 5 years old, and never being given a respirator to breathe when I'm mixing concrete, just breathing all that concrete shit and everything else. It also didn't help that I smoked, but the concrete was the big thing. And so the hospital, I had an overnight stay at the hospital, a bunch of different things that they did to me, nebulizers, a bunch of things. And then I had just one night in the hospital, no health care. I did not have health care, and I had a fucking job. I had a good paying job. I was making $25 an hour as a ceramic tile and natural stone contractor, working for my dad's company as a third generation person. My dad did not carry health insurance on any of his employees. That's illegal, like in today's world. Back then, yeah, like when you've got a bunch of, all his guys are like ex-felons and all, they don't give a shit. And I was 21. I didn't know any better. Like, I'd been in that business. We didn't have the internet back then and everything. Yeah, silica dust, exactly. So I end up with a $16,000 bill. And this is back in 2020, 2001? 2001, 2000, right, January of 2002. So years ago. So I was 21 on the night of my 22nd birthday, sorry. So $16,000 bill. What is that in today's dollars to give you guys some perspective? Hang on. $16,000 in 2001 is, well, 2002, sorry, is worth what now? That is $29,000 in today's dollars for one night in the hospital. And I didn't have any major operations. It was just EKG, nebulizer, X-ray, various other things, tests and everything else. I was then told to quit work, and I had to start going to see a follow-up doctor for two different inhalers. One was an inhaler that would open up my trachea so that I could breathe, and the other one was to go inside and break up the concrete dust so that I could expel it from my chest. Long story short, over the course, because I couldn't work, over the course of about 6 months of immediate care and post hospital care, I racked up $60,000. $60,000, which in today is worth about $109,000 of medical debt, because my employer did not cover my health insurance for me. So that person earlier, and I know I'm spinning back around, but Gyard's statement kind of triggered me here. The person earlier who made that comment in chat about just get a job, if you want healthcare, just get a job. Not everyone's fucking job covers their health insurance. There are many jobs that do not cover health insurance in the United States. Mine was one of them. So I was 22 years old with $108,000, $109,000 of medical debt at 22 years of age. I couldn't pay that, and I also couldn't work for 6 months. So I had no income for 6 months. So after 6 months, I found myself with no money. They repoed my Jeep. They repossessed my Jeep. They repossessed my apartment. And I went and lived with my grandmother at 22 years of age while they recovered health-wise and financially. I claimed bankruptcy when I was 23 years old. So I have gone through the healthcare thing. I literally claimed bankruptcy when I was 23 years old because of medical debt, because my employer did not cover my health insurance, and I had a medical emergency which cost me $109,000 in today's money. So, anytime someone wants to come at me and have a conversation about healthcare, get a job. Get a job if you want free healthcare. I'm going to say fuck you, respectfully, because just because you have a job doesn't mean your employer is automatically going to pay for it. Flash forward to where I am today, living where I am. I don't have to worry about that because there's universal healthcare coverage that taxes pay for. That is a far superior system. End of fucking story. What's up, sweetie? You going over to your bed? She decided she's going to move in her bed. She's been sleeping on my bed for the past hour. So, thankfully, I recovered, but that fucked my life up for a very long time, because if you've never had bad credit in the United States, or you've never had a bankruptcy on your credit, I will never forget, because the following year I went to go call to get, I had bought a new truck. I was getting better. I went and got a job, and had finally recovered health-wise. I was able to finally go out and work again, and went and got a job, got a new truck, went to go get insurance on the truck, and when I called for a quote, they told me it was going to be like $80 a month for full coverage insurance on my truck, and I was like, that's awesome, let's do a year-long policy. And she took my data, and she went away. I get a phone call back an hour later, and she's like, unfortunately, we just ran your credit, and because you have a bankruptcy on your credit, you are considered a high-risk client. And now instead of your payments being $85 a month, they're going to be $300 a month. for full coverage insurance on your truck. So I went from an $85 a month premium to a $300 a month premium because of my bad credit, because of bankruptcy. And here's the fucked up thing. When people look at your credit score, they assume that you're a bad person because they're like, "Oh, you didn't pay your bills on time. You're a loser. You're a parasite on society. You can't pay your bills." I had a medical emergency which caused me to go bankrupt. Not because I was a bad person. I had always paid my bills on time every single time. I had a medical health emergency which made me go bankrupt. I lost my Jeep. I lost my apartment. Had to claim bankruptcy. All this shit happened. All my credit cards got canceled. I was 23 years old, living with my grandmother, recovering. I have been through the shit. And I can tell you that the system is fucked. By the way, this is not political. This is just economic, social fact. It needs to be rehauled. The system needs to be completely rehauled. And I'm not gonna lie. Like that guy triggered me earlier when he made that comment about if you want healthcare, just get a job. Because fuck you. Like there are so many people out there who have it worse than I had it. And I had it pretty bad. Now, thankfully, I've recovered. I have an 828 credit score now, which is near the cap. I have excellent credit. It's been a long time ago. I have recovered from that. But the fact that you can go bankrupt because of healthcare costs is one of the most fucked things I can think of to have happen to somebody, because it's something that's out of your control, right? A healthcare emergency is something that is out of your control. You cannot control that. It has nothing to do with you being a good person, paying your bills on time. Sometimes nature just says, nope, here's this thing. We're going to make you diabetic. We're going to give you a stroke. We're going to cause you to have a heart attack. You're going to whatever, these life-changing medical emergencies that can happen, right? And it can literally break someone financially. It can cause serious mental trauma as well for some people, and can cause people to go off the deep end. Like, yeah, I really feel for people who can't afford health insurance. It's a sore point for me, because I went through it. And so when I see people, supporting things like a silly mission to space to take pretty pictures when we could have used those billions of dollars of funding to help people who really need it. Yeah, I mean that's a sore topic for me. It's like, seriously?
You got it. Catch you on
And
the
then
flip side,
to
boss.
have the gall to come in
Thanks
my
for
chat
letting
and
me
be
tag
like,
along.
"If you want health insurance, just get a job." Like, the ignorance of some people is what really is the kicker there. So for anybody out there who is dealing with things like that, it's not a good place. Garrett says that he triggered me too. My wife was wondering why I was swearing so much. $75 Montana says, sitting here in Denmark with my tax-covered healthcare. Oof. Yeah. I mean, I definitely. I mean, a lot of times people will ask why Chris and why do you live there? And it's like, because this is where Chris is from, and the universal healthcare is one of the big reasons we stay here. Round of 7 says, in Belgium, healthcare pays for everything, even if you don't have work. My mother has cancer. Everything was paid for. Correct. So the system here that we have, everybody gets it, even if they don't work, because everybody's taxes pay for it. So the system that Chris and I are on is literally, it's for everyone. It's for everyone, regardless of how old, how young, how rich, how poor, whether you work or not, everyone has access to it because the taxes pay for it. That's the way it's supposed to be. Like, that's what taxes are supposed to be used for. The betterment of the society, the betterment of people. Healthcare, education, roads and highways, infrastructure. Anyway, guys, sorry to sidetrack, but I'm going to push back against shit like that when it pops up in my chat. This is not an Asmongold stream where we can just rant about how other people are, you know, deserve to suffer and etc. Like, healthcare is a major issue. Better says even unemployed people pay tax on the unemployment benefits they receive from the state. You're not wrong, and a lot of people don't know that they do. They don't want to recognize that that's actually reality. Anyway.
Can't believe we got into this mess. You've given the fleet a lot of trouble, Barrett. Hey, since when is surviving being attacked causing trouble? Isn't that just fighting back? Hey, pilot, could you move your arm a little bit to the left? I can't make out the console. Don't move. He's trying to figure out our destination. Probably transmitting this conversation right now while we're still in orbit. Well, yeah. Thought I was making that
grind
pretty
my
obvious.
gears.
Okay, put the gun down. I'm done. See? My retinas are pointing away from the console and towards this lovely view of space we have out the window. Tie him up. Once we get back to the base, the fun starts.
Alright. Let's go rescue Barrett.
This won't take long.
Oh! Apparently we jumped in the middle of a dogfight.
You're done. There's no way you can win this.
Shoot, they've lost grav jump capability.
Oh, I destroyed it before I could lock on again.
Enemy's shields are Target's shields are offline. Targets lost their shields.
No, don't kill it before I lock on! No! Stealing my credit.
Grid is fried. Enemy's shield grid is fried.
I think an issue too is, yeah, like there are certain people who have never had bad things happen to them in life, and so they have such a privileged position that they never consider that someone else's circumstance might be different, and they just can't fathom that other people. It's like, well, if you're not as blessed as I am, you're just lazy. You're not working hard enough. You're not doing what you need to do. Like, I'm doing fine. You should be doing fine. And if you're not fine, it's because you're lazy. It's not because of life or anything like that. It's just you're lazy. You're a drain on the system. Fortunately, my parents are like that. It's one of the reasons we don't really have a talking relationship, because it's an old school boomer mentality of work hard. If you're not bleeding, you're not really working. You're not contributing to society unless you're blah blah blah. It's like, but what about the less fortunate? What about the people who can't? What about the people born with disabilities? What about the people who are born with no hands? What about the people who are born with no feet? What about the people who are born with autoimmune diseases? What about the people who are born with diabetes? What about humanity? What about having compassion? Oh, you say you're a Christian? You tell me that I'm supposed to go to church, and you tell... Sorry, guys. I'm breaking my rules. I need to ban myself. I need to ban myself. Somebody needs to slap me on the wrist to put some duct tape over my mouth. Oh.
Beginning landing cycle.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, boy.
Finally,
Jesus saves.
a place with no children.
And there's like aluminum all over the place. I don't think I'm... man. I hesitate to take the rover. Oh yeah, I don't need the rover. We're like right here. Why aren't you getting out of the stupid vehicle? Oh, because we were on like an angle. Yeah, silver spoon mentality. Right, Drip Rom. It's childish to think that everyone is just like you. That's very true. I did silence this bad boy now. Let's see what kind of trouble I can get into here. I know there are some turrets around here, if I remember correctly.
Just our luck.
Did I not kill him? Alright, he's down now. They're running around trying to figure out what's happening. Oh, somebody may have found me.
I don't have time for these games.
There's the turret.
I am going to find you. Heads up!
There's a collider there that's key.
You are done!
Oh, you're right there. There's a collider. You trying to sneak up on me? Yeah, terramorphs are awesome. Terramorphs are awesome. Yeah, we're not even giving that person the benefit of a discussion. See ya, bitch. That's right, banhammer time. But we're not giving them. Yeah, they didn't even get the benefit of a. We're not even giving them the time of day or a conversation. We just ban them outright. Sorry, not sorry. NPCs are little bots in this game. Bye. They're little bots in every game, you dumbass. Can you call the ship to land near? You can, but you can also just adjust the settings. You can go into the gameplay options and adjust the settings so that you can literally put your ship on the loot from anywhere. Like, you don't have to do the limitations if you don't want to. That's just the normal mode. You could literally go here into the gameplay options and then go right down here to cargo access distance and set it to anywhere so that you can access your ship's cargo from anywhere, and then you don't have to worry about it. You can literally be in the depths of a dungeon and send all your shit back to the ship. It's brilliant. I may have to go outside here in a second. I'm hearing some cats meowing. I don't know what's going on. Oh, you fucker. Alright, I think there's still one more down there somewhere, but I don't know where he's at, so we're just gonna go meandering down and see what happens. Whoa! Get away from that. Now there's going to be loot all over this place, so we're going to take our time. There may be some magazines and or action figures in here. We just don't know yet. I'm not going to go into the building until I've explored everything around here first. I can try to cordon off everything. There's a key card. Didn't mean to pick up that. Can't hack it. That's unfortunate. What the fuck is shooting at us? You just about got shot, Maria. Alright, let's go clockwise around here so I don't get confused. Lentils, hazmat, Paramore, heart, cred stick. Nope. Neon nightlife jumpsuit. Nah, I've already seen one of those. They're not that cool. Did I see a Chunks manual? Chunks employee handbook. Oh no. I don't need to know, man. Nothing in there. That is a regulator. Thanks for that. Over on Twitch, Dredish, 2 months in a row. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Glad you're continuing to find entertainment here with us. The value of your money. Thanks for choosing to fly only, Renz. I don't see anything in here. Somebody stashed away, dude. Look at all the smokes in here, dude. Alright, we've been in 2 of the buildings. I know there was a turret up here somewhere. Star Roamer helmet. No, 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 no. That is a magnet. Thank you very much. I always get a chuckle at this when people ask me, like, how do you find this, that, or the other? How do you get rich? And it's just like, I don't think there's any trick to it. Too many people want to get like, how do you get rich? Get rich quick. And it's like, I don't think there is a get rich quick thing. It's just explore every nook and cranny and loot everything everywhere, because it all adds up. And if you're paying attention, I'm getting tons of like repair things, and like these right here, adaptive frames, authentic manifolds. All these are crafting materials, which you might not need right now, but if you're going to be doing any sort of weapon modifications or spacesuit modifications or ship modifications later on, those resources become invaluable because they are literally the backbone of the mod system. Loot and sell on the commerce perk. Profit. Yep. Fallout, Starfield, play them both. You can absolutely design your ships to look like things from other places. There are already creative people out there who have done tons of like Star Wars and Star Trek and like Battlestar Galactica builds. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the beta for The Expanse on the 22nd as well. Yeah, all the mission boards are great, like Driprum says. Alright guys, I have done a naughty thing. I have played 3 hours and I have not taken a break, and I am not supposed to do that. But my eyes have felt good this morning, and I gotta take a break though. My doctor would be yelling at me if he saw me doing this right now. So we're gonna take 5 to 10. If you're not already doing so, make sure to get over to YouTube for everything in between the streams. And don't forget the Discord, all that good stuff. And we will be back in a few minutes, because I need more coffee. I gotta stretch my legs. I gotta stretch my eyes. I gotta see if my wife's awake. I don't know if she's up yet. The cats are crying though. I know she had a pretty rough day yesterday, so she may be sleeping in this morning. It is Saturday, and I know she's got to go to a birthday party tonight for her niece. Our other niece, who has I think our baby's turning 2? Or maybe 1. I can't remember if her baby's turning 1 or 2 years old today. I think it's turning 2 years old today. And they've got a birthday party tonight. I'm not going. I got to stay home and keep an eye on all the animals. Anyway, I'll be back.